2.6, dividing whole numbers. So the first two things that you need to understand about dividing whole numbers is that you have to use long division to actually divide the whole numbers. And when the divisor divides evenly into the dividend, the quotient is a whole number. So I'm going to show you what those two things look like real quick. So this is my problem that I have. And the first thing is, and the way you would read this is 300 divided by 15 equals 20. So let me just label these for you. Please write this down. I'm using these colors this way on purpose. All right, let's start with the dividend because that's what we say first. So we've got 300, which is our dividend, divided by 15, which is our divisor, equals 20, which is our quotient. So now we know that the answer to a division problem is called a quotient. Sometimes you'll see that in word problems. When the divisor does not divide evenly into the dividend, you obtain a remainder. And when this occurs, you can write the quotient as a mixed number. So now instead of having that little R remainder like you probably learned in elementary school, we're now going to turn that into a fraction or a mixed number. Example 1, dividing whole numbers. It says find 672 divided by 8. If you remember the last page or you look over at your example, you always start with the number first, what it says to go first. So I'm going to write 672 divided by, which is right here, and then my final one is 8. Now those parts of that problem is my 672 is my dividend, and my 8 is my divisor. So now we're just going to do what we normally would do, and we'd say, how many times does 8 go into 6? We have to remember it goes in there 0 times. 8 times 0 is 0. Subtract. Bring down. Okay? Now, we have 67. How many times does 8 go into 67? You have to think your math facts. 8 times 8 is 64, so that's as high as we can go. 8 times 8, 64. Subtract those out. 67 minus 64 is 3. Then I bring down my final number, which is a 2. 8 goes into 32 4 even times. So now my answer should equal 84. That's my quotient. Okay, and we always circle those answers. Don't circle it up here like this. Always bring it over to the side and put a box or a circle around it. It's just easier to see. To do a quick check to make sure that this actually works, all you would do is take your quotient and you would multiply it by your divisor. So my quotient is 84 multiplied by my divisor, which is 8. 8 times 4 is 32. 8 times 8 is 64. Plus 3 more is 67. So that answer should be my dividend. So if this is the same number as this, then you have checked it for understanding. All right, example 2 is solving a problem using division. I just took this picture right out of the book. You don't need to write out the whole problem, but please put example 2, this part right here. Please write that down, and then we can kind of go from there. So it says, you make 12 equal payments for a go-kart. You pay a total of $1,380. How much is each payment? So basically, we are dividing up the 1,380. So that right away becomes our dividend. So I'm going to start off with, we've got $1,380. We're going to divide that by 12 because we're going to make 12 equal payments. So now we just need to take and find the quotient of the 1,380 and 12 using long division. So we start with 12. How many times does 12 go into 13? 1 full time. Notice how I put it above the 3 because I didn't do the first step where this would just become a 0 because 12 can't go into 1 evenly. But 12 goes into 13 1 time. 12 times 1 is 12. 13 minus 12 is 1. And I only bring down my 8. 12 can go into 18 1 time. 12 times 1 is 12. 18 minus 12 is 6. And then I bring down my 0, my last number. 12 can go into 60 5 full times because 12 times 5 is 60. You keep going until you get a 0 or you run out of numbers. The next example will show you with a remainder. So now it says each payment will have to end up being, because that's what we're trying to figure out, is how much is each payment. We know that we got 115. You need to make sure you change it to dollar signs. The $115 each payment would be the correct answer. All right, I know this is kind of tiny, but we're going to do example 4, modeling real life. First of all, I have to point this out to you. I will ride every ride at Cedar Point except for this one. They have one like that. I just can't do it. It's just, why swing me around like that? I can't do it. All right, back on the math here. So you have a 301-foot-high swing in an amusement park. It can take 64 people on each ride. So a total of 10,250 people ride the swing today. All the rides are full except for the last ride. How many rides are given? How many people are on the last ride? So to figure this out, you have to know the number of rides given. You need to first see how many numbers of groups of 64 people there are in 10,250. So what we do is we write out our 10,250 people that rode the ride, and we know that there's 64 people that are on each of the actual rides. Everything was full except for that final ride. So this is how we know we got to divide those out. All right, so the first thing you start with is 64 cannot go into 1. It cannot go into 10, but it can go into 102 equally, but it can only go in there one time. Okay, so 64 can go into 102 one time. Make sure you line up your place values, okay? 102 minus 64, I'm going to kind of go a little quicker, but you should end up getting, if I did this and I borrowed, I should end up getting down to 38, okay? And then I bring down my 5, that's my next step. 64 can go into 385 6 times. I'm going to kind of go a little quicker. 64 times 6 actually equals 384. So that's an easy one to subtract. I have 1 left over. I bring down my 0. Now this is where it gets a little tricky. How many times can 64 actually go into 10? This is what we're trying to see. Well, because 64 can't equally go into 10 at all, you actually have to write up the place value of 0. Now, a long time ago, we used to teach you that there was a remainder, and the remainder is 10. And you would leave your problem like that. You're in 6th grade now, so because the remainder is 10, you can actually put this into a fraction. And this is how you do it. It's pretty simple. So you take your quotient, which is 160. If I have 10 remaining, that's my numerator. My denominator is just simply 64. And 64 comes straight from my part of my problem, which happens to be my divisor. Now I can also make this down. I can take this down and reduce it just a little bit. And it would equal, 160 in 5/30 seconds. Now, I have to go back and reread what that question says. It says, how many rides are given? How many people are on the last ride? So we can say that 100, wouldn't be 160, but 161 rides were given because the actual ride went 161 times. However, on the last ride, there were only how many people? Let me change my color real quick here. That's where this remainder comes. So 160 rides, 10 on final ride. Remember, it tells us too that we can get 64 people on each ride, but Only 10 rode it for the very final ride. This would be my final answer. And one quick note, I didn't have to do anything with that 5:30 seconds because, if I point over here, because I'm just showing you how to reduce it. That would be your final answer depending on what the question asked. But because I needed to know this 10 and how many remaining people were left, I didn't want to reduce it. Here are 2 quick try-its for you. Go ahead and try those out, pause your video, and then when you're finished, you can check your answers. And here are the answers for both of those problems. Check your work, and you are all done for today.